Welcome to Oak Tree Stories, timeless tales rooted in India. Here you'll find gentle, thoughtful tales drawn from our rich storytelling traditions, from ancient fables and folklore to heartwarming slices of modern Indian life. Each story is carefully chosen and lovingly crafted to be age appropriate and calming, with just a touch of wonder. So come, get cozy, and let the story begin. Hi, I'm Shalini, your storyteller. Today we have a special Christmas tale from the sunny coconut-lined village of Saligaon in Goa. But before we begin, we have a very special shout-out. This week's artist shout-out goes to Iris, who is 6 years old and lives in Trivandrum. She sent us a truly beautiful drawing inspired by our story, How the Peacock Got Its Colors. Her colors, her lines, her imagination, everything was magical. Thank you, Iris. And hey, if you'd like a chance to be featured in our artist shoutouts, listen till the end of the story. I'll tell you exactly how you can send in your artwork too. Alright then, find a comfy spot, take a deep breath, and let's go to Saligaon. In the little Goan village of Saligaon, tucked between swaying coconut trees and sleepy paddy fields, Christmas time brought a certain magic. As December arrived, evening air filled with the smell of warm poi bread from the bakery. Children practiced carols under mango trees, and every house hung a bright paper star in its window. And in one of those cozy old houses lived Aji Lurdina, the oldest woman in Saligaon. Aji's hair was as white as fresh coconut, and her hands were wrinkled and soft. But her fingers were still nimble. Every year she made the most beautiful paper star lanterns in the whole village. Red ones, blue ones, gold ones that shimmered like morning sun on water. People whispered that her stars shone brighter because she blessed each one with a small secret prayer. Across the road lived Romy, a cheerful 8-year-old with curls that bounced when he ran. Romy loved Christmas more than anything else. The carols, the sweets, the lights, but most of all, he loved the star Aji gave him every year. To him, Aji's star was Christmas. But this year, Aji wasn't her usual lively self. One evening, when Romy ran across the road to ask about the star, he found Aji sitting by the window, wrapped in a shawl. Her hands trembled as she held her teacup. Her knees ached when she stood. And in a voice as gentle as winter breeze, she said, "My child, I don't think I can make stars this year." Romy's smile disappeared. "But Aji," he whispered, "Christmas needs your star." Aji placed a warm hand on his. "My child, Christmas glows from our hearts, not from stars. As long as there is love in a home, it is already bright." That night, Romy lay awake, listening to his window creak softly in the wind. No star, no glow, just darkness. It can't be Christmas like this, he thought. The next afternoon, he gathered his best friends, Sarah, Nevin, and little Tia, who still said Christmas instead of Christmas. They met under the tall coconut trees behind Mrs. Raskina's shed. "We have to make Aji a star," Romy said firmly. Sarah's eyes widened. "But we don't know how to." Nevin shook his head. "Aji's stars are perfect. What if ours is awful?" Tia sneezed loudly, sending a few dry leaves skittering across the courtyard. "We make it shiny, shiny," she chirped. Romy grinned. Aji always said a star must shine with patience, not perfection. We can do this. So their Christmas mission began. They searched behind old Mr. D'Souza's house and found thin bamboo sticks. They borrowed glue from their school's art cupboard when no one was looking. Nevin brought leftover red and gold paper from his mother's gift wrapping table. And Tia? Well, she mostly got glue on her nose and in her hair, but she did try her best. On the first day, the star was lopsided. On the second day, one whole side collapsed like a sleepy coconut tree. On the third day, the paper wrinkled and tore. Sarah groaned. Romy, this will never work. Romy stared at the broken star frame, bamboo sticking out in every direction. Let's try again, he said softly. And so they did. They measured carefully. They cut slowly. They glued gently. And by the fourth evening, something beautiful happened. A star began to take shape. Not perfect, but shining with something warm and hopeful. On Christmas Eve morning, as the village smelled of fresh bebinka cake and the choir sang their final practice before midnight mass, the children carried their star to Aji's doorstep, its gold edges sparkling in the sunlight. They hung it outside her window. And then they stepped back. The star wasn't smooth. It wasn't even symmetrical. But when the sun touched its red and gold paper, it glowed like it held a tiny sunrise inside. Aji Lurdina opened her door slowly, leaning on her walking stick. Her eyes, old, wise, and full of stories, widened. Oh, she whispered. Then her lips trembled, not with sadness, but with a joy so deep it made her eyes shine. My children, she said, voice soft and wobbly. You've given me Christmas. That evening, when the whole village gathered for carols, everyone paused, because Aji's home glowed brighter than any other. Golden light spilled across the road like warm honey, and people turned to see where it was coming from. Romy and his friends stood quietly beside Aji's gate, their hearts thumping with a mixture of pride and nervousness. Then, from somewhere in the crowd, a gentle humming began. Soft at first, like a whisper carried by the wind. Silent night, holy night. One voice became two, then five, until the whole village was singing. The children's star shimmered softly, as though the song itself had woken its light. Aji placed a trembling hand over her heart. Her eyes glistened as she looked at the shining lantern made by the tiny hands she loved so much. In that moment, everyone understood. This wasn't Aji's star, it was Romy's, Sarah's, Nevin's, and little Tia's. It was the children's gift, made with patience, kindness, and the true spirit of Christmas. And from that year on, Saligaon began a new tradition. Every child made a Christmas star by hand, messy, crinkled, imperfect, but full of love. Because Christmas doesn't need perfect lights or perfect things. It shines brightest when its light is shared. And that, dear listener, was the Christmas Star of Saligaon, a warm little tale from Goa where coconut trees sway in the December breeze and every home prepares for Christmas with music, light, and love. It reminds us that Christmas isn't about perfect stars or shiny decorations or lots of presents. It's about kindness, about helping one another, about the love we share. The kind that makes even the simplest star glow bright. If this story made you smile, we'd love to see the art it inspires in your heart. Maybe you could draw Romy and his friends making their star, or Aji Lurdena opening her door in surprise, or the village glowing golden on Christmas Eve. Whatever you imagine, we'd love to see it. Send us your drawings and we'll feature them on our social media pages, and we'll give you a special artist shout out in a future episode. You can use the form on our website www.oaktreebooks.in/oaktreestories to send in your artwork. Grown-ups, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Oak Tree Stories, where we share updates and glimpses into our world of storytelling. You can also visit www.oaktreebooks.in/oaktreestories to support us as we bring you more stories from across India. Until next time, dear listener, may your Christmas shine with kindness, glow with love, and sparkle just like the star of Saligaon.